Hey gang. So this is what my hair looks like first thing in the morning. And I'm all set to work out. I'm gonna work out today. I didn't work out yesterday. I'm gonna endorphins. Endorphins are needed. Coffee is needed. Oh. Um mm. See, it's like got some steamed milk. It's staining the inside of the glass with its coffee caffeinated goodness in my really goofy blessed mug. I, I mean, it's goofy. It's a Christmas mug, but it is. I got this at Dollar General. Dollar General, the politics, the economics of stores like Dollar General, super problematic. But you can get some great shit at Dollar General, and I got this mug a few years ago for like $2, and it is like the perfect size for my little hands and the perfect weight, and it's just yummy. Anyway, okay, that has nothing to do with anything. What has everything to do with everything is the Drop 'em 78 challenge, which people, October 15th, it's coming up. So first of all, if you don't know much about the Drop 'em 78 challenge, well, learn everything. There's a playlist, there's a link to my website. And this year, through the magic and synchronicity that the universe sometimes provides us, October 15th falls on the third Sunday of the month, which is the day that I hold community Zooms, right? So if you come to the community Zoom this next October 15th, which is like 10 days away, we will be inaugurating the challenge together. That's never happened. So exciting. Anyway, time to choose a deck. I've been trying to choose a deck for a while, and I've been putting off working with these two decks, doing a dialogue with these two decks for like the whole time I've been thinking about the challenge this year, because they're both somewhat intimidating decks. They will require, both of them will require a kind of deep dive. Not in the way that if I did, say, the Mary L or, like the Crowley Harris, the Toth deck or something like that, where the deep dive would be sort of plunging into the imagery, or like with the Toth, like the esoteric. I'm not ready to do the Toth because there's a lot of study that I want to do if I'm going to do that. And I want to do that with you. And I think I want to do that with a class. I think I want to do a Toth class, and maybe have a Toth study group. So that's something that I'm thinking of for 2024. But I'm not there yet. And that's not the kind of intimidating that these decks are. These decks are intimidating because they're going to take me into archetypal mythological terrain. So in some ways, that's about working with the materials that the authors and creators of the decks have provided. But in some ways, that's also like me just doing my journey, my work into archetype and myth. But the structures of both of these decks are challenging, a little bit challenging. And it'll be hard to do a dialogue with them because I don't know the decks at all. So, I'm going to need to look at the guidebook. So, okay, I'm blathering away. I'm clearly putting off the work that needs to happen in this video. Blah! Okay, so what are the decks? You know this already because you saw the title, but Linda Hill's Red Seeds Tarot. The Red Threads Tarot is her deck with Ariadne and Dionysus. The Red Seeds Tarot, that's the one that is going through the Eleusinian mysteries, the one that's about freaking Persephone and Demeter, and the descent into the underworld. Okay. Now, Kasha Tarot Map first turned me on to this deck. I'll link her video below. Maybe she may have more than one. And she modeled responsible deck reviews. This is not a deck review where she'd, gone through the book and she was talking about the stuff. I won't be doing that. I'm going to be doing, I haven't even shuffled these cards yet. I'm about to shuffle them for the first time. But this is a deck dialogue. So now, oh God, these cards are just fucking beautiful. I mean, they're fucking beautiful. They still have that new tarot smell, and they came with this little bag. The bag holds the, I'm not a box person, but it's a nice 2-part box. Really like a real, it's a beautiful guidebook, right? It's a real book with actual pages and pictures. Yeah, this deck. So what do I want to say? So this deck and the other one I'm going to be looking at, both are working with this Greek mythic material that is about whatever it means, the mysteries of descending into the underworld and returning. Writ large, that's like the hero's journey. That is actually the structure of human growth. That's the structure of the mandala of the tarot. That's the structure of spiritual work. That's the structure of story. That is the big structure, right? The temporal narrative structure of what it means to have the dark night of the soul and to return. Now, I have not read Linda Hill's guidebook. I have not looked at the cards. I don't really know much. Deliberately have not tried to learn much. Have not, other than Kasha's video, which I saw a long time ago, I have not tried to sort of see what's in this deck. But I know that one of the ways for me to be thinking about this time in my life, the 50s, the V time, V for 5, but also vagina, vulva, all those good, all those good things. Victory, perhaps. One of the things about this time is, what does it mean to grapple with both the maiden part of me, the matron part of me, the coming crone part of me, but also what does it mean to just to be initiated into a certain kind of female power, which I think happens later in life. I mean, I keep thinking, when I entered my 30s, I was like, oh, thank God, my 20s are behind me. And then my 40s, I was like, shit, I actually feel like I can do stuff in the world. I started to feel some power. And I still think the 40s are an incredible decade, of just like coming into your own, having a sense of your sexuality, feeling professionally like some stuff, coming into like your facial structure, getting a few of the wrinkles and the kind of the even the jowly bits. It's just like stuff happens in your 40s. But the 50s people, and I'm into them now, I'm well into them. Awesome decade. And I'm sure the 60s are going to be awesome too. I want to hold them off for a few more years, but I don't have a whole lot of years to hold them off. All right. Well, I'm just gabbing and I haven't even looked at cards. So I'm going to cut away, do my thing, and find the six of Swords in Linda Hill's Red Seeds Tarot. God, these are beautiful cards. So this is the 6 of Bees. Okay. And then before it was the 10 of Cups, right? The 10 of Vessels. And then after it was the Lord. So the Emperor. So let me see if there's 6 of Bees. Let's just see what is said about the 6 of Bees. In the hive, the larvae spin a silk thread cocoon around their bodies. The Melisai make batches of honey and poppy cakes to be used in the upcoming ceremonies. In the myth, Demeter was given grains of poppy to help her sleep as she was mentally and physically exhausted and needed rest. The poppy lives among the wheat fields and within the goddess. We have weathered storms that have been difficult and challenging to navigate, but we have somehow found the strength to push through. So very much this is about like finding the strength in the midst of the journey and being nourished, right, in that process. So this really does bring out the grace of the 6 of Swords, like the honey, the poppies, the nourishing cocoon. And then around it, the 10 of Vessels, right, and the Lord. So the Emperor is my my soul card, my What's another name for that? Anyway, my soul card. Um, you know, it is a card that makes a lot of sense for me. The sort of the structure, the commanding, the desire to have like a container over my world and to build and to take all of the energy of that Empress 3 energy and like build it, right? A lot of shadow in the Emperor. So the Lord here, what is said about the Lord? Zeus and Hades planned the abduction of Persephone. In time, Hades and Persephone married, and together they ruled the underworld where the deceased would journey to rest. Hades was a powerful and determined lord who was sometimes impulsive and deceptive. It was said that he held the knowledge of all things. His realm was rich with dark, fertile earth. So here we meet the masculine in all his might, which may align us with a father figure, a teacher, or the masculine part of our soul. Okay, that seems really potent, relevant, this kind of encounter with the masculine. I feel like that's something that's been happening in my dreams, in my dream work, as I've been working with my femininity. The Ten of Vessels and the sort of the masculine, the Hades, the dark lord, and the Ten of Vessels. Ten of Cups, as some of you know, is a card that I like, even though it's a like completely positive card. I have trouble with it. I have trouble with trusting into the joy and fulfillment and happy rainbow brights of the Ten of Vessels. Okay, so the day of returning. So this deck is making reference to the Eleusinian mysteries and this sort of ceremonial journey that was enacted. And again, I don't know anything about the history. I haven't read the book and I haven't looked into it. And if this is my deck, I'm going to have to do that kind of historical, mythopoetic work. For now, I'm faking it. Fake it till you make it. But here we go. Deep gratitude pools within our hearts as we swim in the rivers of spiritual and emotional fulfillment. Divine love fills our soul and radiates out to all we meet. Our journey of awe, disparage, and challenge has revealed so much about our true self. This is really happy. This is too good to be true. Okay, so are you saying you will nourish me on the way? You will help me find, like, make peace with this masculinity and like help me find the waters of the true soul of myself. This seems too positive. Why am I distrusting this? Are you going to help me? Are you just going to be all sweet? And I feel like if there's not enough shadow here, this says a lot about Esty, doesn't it? I don't want just sweetness and light, right? I need to grapple with this stuff. Like, are you going to help me grapple? How are you going to help me grapple with the dark stuff? Is that what this, I'm assuming that's what this deck is about, but how does that work exactly? How do you help me with that? The Wheel. Whoa. Look at that card. Okay, the Wheel. All right, let's just see what Linda Hill says about the Wheel. Baobo. Okay. We have been traveling for some time, and it is likely we have found both stepping stones and stumbling blocks upon our way. Life may seem full of ups and downs. The wheel brings us uncertainty in life. Loss and sudden changes may shock and disturb us at times. Our life cycles become spirals, creating abundant spaces for personal growth. We will go round and round, but now we have a clearer perspective to observe our repeating patterns and change them. The wheel of life offers us eternal movement, uncertainty, and understanding. I am cycles. So you're going to help me sort of understand my cycles, my movements, my patterns. You can help me lean into this movement, this time of my life, seeing, I mean, this is the work of myth, I think. Are you saying you're going to help me through the work of myth, through the Eleusinian mysteries as mapped onto the tarot? You're going to help me understand how that all works. I'm feeling like I need to pull two cards here. The bottom card is the Queen Bee. Okay, so this is Queen of Swords. And the top card is the Two of Vessels, the Two of Cups. Okay. The Queen Bee. All right, we'll say Two of Vessels. This card describes a balanced union, one which contains a respectful understanding of the other. The love of self and love of others may take many shapes and forms. A conscious union will always offer love and support unconditionally. We place our hearts in the flowing waters of love, nurture, trust, and understanding. We are supported. There's much kindness here. So and by the way, I'm just reading little snippets from the guidebook so that this video isn't forever, isn't the length of forever. I've often gotten Two of Cups in deck dialogues which feel like they're about my relationship to the deck, like how the deck is going to partner me. And my association with Queen of Swords, I am very much Queen of Swords. My sharpness, my my analytical, capacity, but also that kind of the way in which in the Queen of Swords, being water of air is not a very comfortable place to be because you're all sharpness, but then you're like watery relationality. So let me just see what the Queen Bee says here. But I think what this deck is suggesting is it's going to really hold me and really work with me, be with me in this process. So the Queen Bee. And in this deck, by the way, the courts are Seeker, Seer, King, and Queen. Queen Bee is Artemis. Oh, interesting. The Queen is an aspect of the feminine which describes an independent and perceptive woman. She is a woman of integrity who owns a penetrating mind and a strong will. Her wisdom is derived from her life experience that at times have been painful. Plain truths arise from her, but are always accompanied with kindness, empathy, and compassion. The Queen is a teacher, a priestess who can offer us insight about our dreams and meditation. Her wisdom is always clear and powerful. Her truth may be difficult to hear and accept, but know that she will never lie to us. Well, okay. She's Artemis. That's interesting. I am independent. Artemis was a bee goddess, and her priestesses were also called the Melisai. Interesting. I did not know that Artemis was a priest goddess. I mean, it was a bee goddess. In Greek philosophy, it was believed that souls arrived on Earth in the form of bees, having descent from the goddess Artemis. I didn't know this, because Artemis is a figure that I've thought to myself that I need to explore. I've had that idea come to me in dream. Okay, I think you're telling me, I think this is very positive and very intriguing. My one concern about this deck is that the structure of it might not be actually so kind of, that I might not trust the structure of it, because when you work with mapping things like myth onto the tarot, sometimes it can get loosey-goosey in a way that's not so, that's not so satisfying intellectually or spiritually. So, I am Queen Bee here. So what do you say to that worry? Oh, Red Seeds Tarot. And you say the Ace of Seeds, like plant it, just plant it, baby. Just go for it. Just plant it. Just let it. Yeah, I think that's what you're saying here. Let's just see. We find ourselves in the early stages of manifestation, which may lead to minor or major changes in our life. The seeds of creativity, beginnings, and opportunities are deep within us and given to us to share with the world. Plant the seeds well. Okay. All right. Woohoo. All right. Red Seeds Tarot. And the backs aren't so interesting to me, but I like that the writing along the sides. This deck is also, it's going to chip for sure as I use it, because I like to shuffle. I'm not going to baby the deck. The cardstock is wonderful, but it will chip for sure. I am Persephone. I am the seed. I am rebirth. I am Demeter. I am the harvest. I am life. I am Hades. I am the rich, fertile earth. Oh, I'm getting kind of choked up here. I am death. I am Persephone. Whoa! Okay. Red Seeds Tarot. Pretty exciting. Oh, it's beautiful. Is this where I want to go? I don't know. Here's the other deck. in this round. And, I have a bunch of other decks to look at. So, we're not done. I'm not done. And in fact, I have one deck in my mind that I'm thinking is the deck I'm going to use, which is not the Red Seeds Tarot. So I don't know. I don't know, folks. Okay. This is the Orphic Tarot, and I don't know anything about the artist. Their name on the back of this was a Kickstarter in 2021, aka Skyweb. I think this person's first language may be Greek, or maybe not Greek. It's not obvious to me, but I think it's not English. I think they're European, but if I do choose this deck, I'm going to have to learn more about the artist because I don't know anything about them. But this deck, first of all, I fucking love the artwork. I love the aesthetic. I love the red and black of it. I love a lot about it. I have not read with this deck. I have not even flipped through these cards. This has been sitting in my my simmer pot drawer since I got it back in, I think, 2021 or whenever it came out. The Kickstarter. It has really very nice black, slightly holographic gilding, and the cardstock is really nice, and it does shuffle well. It's a little bit of a chunky deck, but it shuffles well. So the premise of this deck is that it's based on the Orphic hymns. And in fact, the artist cites this book, Patrick Dunn's translation of the Orphic hymns, which I bought when I sponsored this deck. I haven't read the book, but this is actually a translation of the Orphic hymns, which is a sequence of hymns by someone who's trying to do that for occult magical purposes. To really think, this isn't just like of historical interest, ancient Greek poetry or scripture. These are actually charged magical incantations that relate to the myth of Orpheus. There are 87 devotions, invocations, and entreaties to the Greek gods there that are as potent today as they were when they were originally developed nearly 2,000 years ago. What's nice about this, even though this guy is Patrick Dunn, I don't know anything about him, but even though Llewellyn published this and it's written for an occult or magic interested pagan audience, he's no slouch. He quotes them in Greek. He has the original Greek and then his translations. Now, I can sound out Greek. I spent a month in Greece. I studied New Testament Greek. I can't read Greek. I cannot read Greek, but I can sort of play. I can pretend. I can't even fake it, but I can pretend. So I have no idea if these are good translations. I'll have to ask some of my classicist friends if I choose this deck. At some point, I'm going to want to work with this deck because it's freaking cool. But anyway, so the decks have Greek lettering on them, not Roman lettering. So we'll see if I can even figure out which card I have pulled. Orphic Tarot. Yeah. Orpheus, like that is, there's Demeter and Persephone, but if we really want to think about the underworld and, dismemberment and transformation, Orpheus and poetry, there's a lot there. And I have no idea how this deck works with that material, but we'll find out a little bit right now. So we're looking for the Six of Swords, and in this deck, the Six of Swords, all of the cards are associated with, all these cards are associated with mythic figures. So the Six of Swords is associated with Styx, with the river Styx. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, so we're going to be looking for the river Styx. We'll see. So once again, pulling other cards one at a time. Okay, so here's the Six of Swords in this deck. This is the name Styx. This is the word Psyche for sword, the Six of Swords. Here she is. Oof. the river Styx and like skulls. She wears a garland of skulls. Pretty badass. This is not like, this is not the Six of Bees giving us nourishment. This is like crossing over blood, fire, very intense, right? And then above her is the sun, which is Helios, right? None of these, these cards are all like, this is all tinged with the blood of Orpheus, right? And then underneath her is the moon, right? 18, is that Pandemonus? Panselene. This card is an alternative and extra arcana to Selene as the moon. Oh, okay. So this is the full moon. I got it. This is the full moon. Okay. Panselene. That's right. Okay. The full moon was the middle of the lunar month, a special day to celebrate Selene and Artemis. Selene displays the most motherly side of her as being heavily pregnant with a crawfish-like baby, the symbol of fertility. The water has just broken and is pouring into the silvery lake where she is immersed. Labor and birth are imminent, but the pain of contraction has not started yet. It is a moment filled with anticipation. Even the dog and the wolf at her side seem to be in awe, expecting the miraculous event to take place. Something you have been withholding for a long time is in secrecy and far from the public light is ready to be brought into the light. The time is right. You can't hold it any longer. And the sun, Helios. Whoa, this is fucking powerful shit, man. All right, this is it's exhausting. I feel like reading this deck is going to be exhausting, and I'm going to stop here, I think. Oh man, I should pull one more card. Because it's like, okay, what is this going to bring to light? Yeah, what's crossing over? This is a deck all about liminality and being ready to be cut right open. Just the artwork of this deck. So how are you going to help me? This feels really hard, like the whatever's being born, that crawfish clawing its way out of my belly. How are you going to help me do this? Am I getting this right? And you have given me here the Four of Swords. Wow. Okay, so who is the Four of Swords? Eurydice? Let me just see. Four of Swords. No, that's cool. Okay, yes. The guidebook is a little bit hard to read too because the font at the top is not the easiest font. Oh, Eurydice, it's Eurydice. Oh, right. Oh, whoa, holy crap. Eurydice. The mythology of Orpheus and Eurydice is a common motif throughout the Orphic Tarot. Their ill-fated love story casts its theme across multiple cards, the 2 and 5 of Cups, the 8 and 10 of Swords, and the Omega card. Eurydice Eurydice was a woodland nymph who first encountered Orpheus while she sang and played his lyre in the forest, which is the Page of Coins in this deck, apparently. Okay, so she lays in her tomb while a red snake emerges from underground. So she gets bitten by a snake, they fall in love, and then it's, she goes into the underworld. So that part that is sleeping in me, you recognize the need to take a break from the stressful situations you may be experiencing. You're at your best when you permit yourself to take space and recollect. The break will give you the clarity and fortitude to handle stress or conflict. But I think having Eurydice as the Four of Swords is really about the part of us that needs to die, that needs to really become dormant. The part that gets bitten by the snake that needs to go into the underworld. Okay, Four of Swords is going to be my next card moving forward. My mind is fucking blown. This mythic stuff is powerful. This deck would be really, it would be challenging it would be challenging to deal with just the Greek, right? And to figure out what the cards are. So although I would have them all in order, so that wouldn't be so tricky. The artwork is really confronting. I mean, look at that incredible Four of Swords. This deck would take me somewhere. It might be all one note. That's a little bit what I worry about both of these decks, is that they might be just one note, one very strong vision. So they might not offer enough balance or variety. Okay, I'm going to edit this video, so because I've been filming for nearly an hour now, as I've been shuffling and grappling with, transliterating the Greek and trying to read the script. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for joining me. And as always, thank you for your practice. Toodaloo.